They die, they will near the eye, then they will damage it and kill it. So phase 1 tanks, nightmare tentacles will spawn, and you have to always be standing by them. If a tank is not by them, they will deal AoE damage to the raid. The tentacles will do the ability Nightmarish Fury, deals large physical damage, and you will need to be using active mitigation regularly. The tentacle will also do a ground slam, which will slam the ground in the direction of a targeted player, dealing damage and knocking all players back. The slam has a long cast time and will target a player, so there's time for DPS to move away from it. Nightmare Horror will need to be tanked as well. They cast the Eye of Fate, which inflicts a large amount of shadow damage in a line in front of them. So they look like those guys that come out of the fog for the trash. Getting hit by the line will cause you to take 50% increased damage from the Eye of Fate for 30 seconds. So face the ad away from the group. Tanks will taunt switch the ad on 2 stacks. The Horror will also spawn patches of red on the ground. Don't stand in them. Non-tanked ads are the Corrupted Tentacle. They spew corruption onto nearby players, inflicting shadow damage and causing them to create pools of nightmare corruption every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. If you get targeted, move away from the group and leave the corruption on the ground on the outer edge of the room. The patches will despawn after a while. Death Glare Tentacles will cast Mind Flay, a long interruptible cast which deals large ticking damage over the course of its duration. It must be interrupted. It does high damage. So of course, melee will need to go onto the Dark Glare Tentacles as soon as they come up, interrupt the Mind Flay. Each time an ad mentioned above are killed, they will spawn Nightmare Ichors, which are the red globs that I talked about. Blobs will fixate on a player. When they are low on health, bring them close to the eye before you kill it. It will explode and do damage to the eye. Best to keep the blobs alive until they are grouped up next to the eye and then AoE them down. The blobs move slowly towards the fixated player and will melee hit them if they reach the player. The physical damage is low, but they will leave a dot on the player that will ramp up very quickly. The dot can be dispelled by the healers. So again, if you see a red glob coming towards you, you're fixated, kite them around. If it's low health, start moving it towards the eye. So anybody who's getting fixated, we need to coordinate and move close to the eye so they all blow up. 20 blobs in total need to be killed by the eye to remove it. I'm not sure if that's the same for LFR, if it's going to need to be that many. Phase 2, before going inside, make sure to kill any remaining ads. If you go inside without killing the remaining ads, they will cause issues. Once inside the tree, it will apply a debuff to all players called Curse Blood, lasting 8 seconds. It will deal ticking damage and then will explode, dealing huge damage to anyone within 11 yards. You will see a big circle around you, just like any other time that we've seen it. You can overlap the circle but on each other, but not on the person, if you understand what that means. And then, of course, so what we're going to do is when we go in there, we're going to stack close to the boss, the heart. And then once the debuff comes out, those who have it need to move out and towards the edge of the room as to not AoE the people who haven't gotten it. Sorry, I lost my thought. Okay, the boss will cast Dark Reconstitution. That means that he's getting ready to seal up the door with another eye. You'll see the cast bar. If the cast bar goes off and whoever's inside when it reseals, you will instantly die. They can't battle res you because you'll be out of line of sight because you'll be blocked by the eye. So just watch the cast bar for Reconstitution. There should be a DBM timer, and it doesn't matter if you just got an awesome proc on something, you need to get out before you die. And then once we come out, then it starts all over again with the tentacles and the blobs and everything else. So each tank, I want to have one dedicated healer assigned. Ziff, did you already? I know I had asked you to be the heal lead and to coordinate for these fights for healers.
Yeah. If the two sorry, I couldn't think about it. If the two monks could target maybe Roller on Hearts and Rain on Thaddeus, that'd be great. And then Af can run mids, and Jesse and I will run the back.
So if you were just asked to be dedicated tank healer, then that means you should always be healing the tanks. They're going to take, I mean, it's LFR, but I still want you to practice doing it, because if we go into normal, they're going to take a lot of damage. And then the other healers watch the raid groups dispel, and if the tanks look like they're going low, then of course those healers might need help and just throw a couple of heals out. I want, my goal for this raid group, because I raided back in vanilla and BC and stuff, we always had healer assignments and everything was always coordinated, and then for some reason as we got along in expansions that kind of went away, but I thought that it was kind of nice to have that, so there's no question about cooldowns, you guys can coordinate stuff like that, but get with Sif, I think he's already started putting together some situations. Is there any questions? Did I lose you guys in the...
yeah, for DPS in the first phase, we should attack the eye beam tentacles first, and then what's our other priority?
Then the melee is for the tentacles to interrupt mind flay. Range is mainly going to be on the big guys with the one eye, because they do drop the blood or the blood on red ground on the... Wow. Sorry, I had a brain fart. They leave the stuff on the ground, so it's going to be a little bit harder for melee. Of course, if they're the only ones up, then melee will go to them. And then, of course, for the red globs, that's going to be everybody's priority after, when there's enough grouped up in front of the eye to AoE them down.
Okay, so we're basically going through and kiting the blobs around. Basically, we're not killing the blobs until all the tentacles are down, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
I mean, in a perfect world.
Well, because that's one thing I was, because when we did it for the trial, phase 2 is when it became difficult for us, because there's just so many of them.
Right. They do go kind of slow. If you have to kill one, I mean, if there's that many up, then just make sure it's by the eye when it happens. But they won't spawn until other things die. So if we can time it correctly and get everything down, then we should just have the globs that we can gather up next to the eye and then AoE down real quick. But we will see how it goes. Do you guys understand which ones you're tanking and which ones you don't have to worry about?
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready. Well, wait, what? Okay, so I'm melee, so I'll do the interrupting and my flay and all that.
Yep.
Yeah.
So melee on death glares then?
Are they death glares?
Nightmare tentacles. Death glares are the, yeah, you kind of threw me off there. Death glares are the one-eyed guys. They're the ones I want ranged mainly on. Melee if there's something else to kill, because they leave the AoE on the ground underneath them.
Okay.
Let's give it a shot.
Any specific dominator you want us to all go for first, or is it just basically attack whichever?
Is his gift. He is your true creator.
Let's do that one first. Remember, they both need to be tanked, though.
Sorry.
There's two types of tentacles. These ones need to be tanked. They do the they will target a player and then do the ground slam. If there's not a tank next to them, they'll do a group-wide AoE. The other smaller tentacles are the ones that do the mind flay. So if you're meleeing these, make sure to step out of where the grand slam is going to be. Ground slam, sorry. This isn't Denny's.
I have GTFO. I think that might help, right?
Mm-hmm. It should. On you, tanks.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
At last, the feeding hour.
Get this done quickly. I think that's enough globs. We can kind of get them up together before some more ads come out. So if they're kiting you, come over close to the eye. Let's AoE them down.
Yeah, if you push them in there with Typhoon, you can drop Vortex on top of them and just keep them there.
Remember, face this guy away from the group.
This is the one that
Watch
takes...
out.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, this is the one that does 2 stacks of Eye of Fate and then we taunt, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll stand behind until you have to.
Death Glare tentacles and Corruptor tentacles.
Healbot is not responding at all for me. I'm really sorry. Having to single target.
Can somebody interrupt this? Okay.
So should we pop hero as soon as we go in through the eye?
Yeah.
Not. Don't do the first one. Do like the second one. We're not gonna get him down the first time. I read even in LFR, the people weren't getting him down the first time. Do it the second one.
Apparently the goal's like 60%.
Yeah, LFR did earlier today. We got him down to 15%. Kill all the ads, right?
Yep.
Looks like all ads are down. So we're gonna stack close here, spread around and stack close, and then if you get the debuff, run out to the edge, but not to, you know. Got 30 seconds left.
Oh, we need to...
They're heading out. Get out.
3, 2, 1.
Everybody get out.
Ah, crap, it got me.
Not yet worthy.
Thanks, Pink.
Dominator tentacles need to be.
don't res Zyph, I need to reload my UI.
Try to get these tentacles down quick, and then we'll AoE the globs. Alright, put them close to the eye, please. Get these tentacles over to the right.
Run away, little girl. Run away.
I see people aren't putting their globs to the edge. Something to work on.
Watch out if you're in front of the boss and not tank.
Death glares are out. They need to be interrupted.
Go ahead and taunt.
Taunt.
Get these globs next to the eye.
Run away, little girl.
Get these tentacles down real quick before we go inside.
Still you fight. Still.
We're still tentacle up, guys. Now it's down.
Alright, everybody in quickly.
Watch your buffs. Debuffs.
Yeah, be careful going in. Not to blow each other up. Good job, guys.
Nice.
A few things to work on, but overall pretty good.
So the only thing that can be traded, Selath can trade the Signet with Brycey, Elvin, Doctor, and Caprice, and Loxil, and others. Apparent 50,000 people. Sorry if I butchered your names.
All right, so this is a fast-paced encounter. Throughout the fight, she has two forms, spider and a rock, which is a bird. She flies to different platforms for different phases. If anybody runs over or gets too close to the egg sacs in the room, spiderlings will hatch out. So phase 1, she starts as a spider. Ranged will stack together so they can move as a group from vile ambush. Renfrew ascends into her web and then drops from above, dealing large physical damage to all players. The further a player is from the marked location, it'll be a giant swirly on the ground, the less damage they will take. Players need to coordinate in speed buffs like roar or any personal speed buffs to get away as a group. Player marked is always a ranged or a healer. After she slams to the ground, spiderlings spawn and need to be grabbed by a tank. They give the boss a buff the closer they are to her and the longer they are alive. They need to be tanked away from her. They also leave an area of green gas when they die, like the bugs in Neth's lair. It will dissipate after a short time. We may have the melees stay on the boss and the range kill the spiderlings. It depends on how quickly we see them start going down. If the range can get them down quick enough, then melee doesn't need to, because otherwise you're going to have to keep running out of the gas. So we'll see how that plays out. She will place the debuff on 2 players, which will deal high ticking damage to the player and anyone nearby. It will also spread to other players if they are near. When the debuff times out, a pool of goo or gas will spawn on the floor. Lots of those mechanics in here. The marked player needs to run out of the group and to the edge of the room. Again, monks, please don't roll to the edge of the room because you might roll off. Tank's Web of Pain debuff, linking the primary tank and other players. 100% of the damage received by debuff player will be reflected to the other webbed players. Lots of heals on the tanks this fight. We will assign a primary tank healers, just like we did the last fight. I'm not sure in LFR if it's just going to be tank to tank, or if it will be another player.
From my understanding, it's tank to tank.
Okay. During spider form, take turns tanking spiderlings to manage applications of dripping fangs. During rock form, quickly taunts Ellerith after raking talons. During rock form, pick up shimmering feather to speed your way across the webbing. So when she moves to another platform, she leaves feathers behind. It looks like the priest's feather for speed. So please leave those for the healers and the tanks. DPS don't really need to be taking those up, picking those up. Also, if you pick up a feather, it'll give you speed buff boost, but also it'll make you jump really high. You can jump off of the platform, I do believe. So just be mindful when you're jumping in which direction you're jumping. It also allows you to cast while jumping, so healers, that'll be useful for you. Again, if you see a feather and you're not a tank or healed, please don't grab it unless there's extras. In phase 2, she turns into her rock form, which again is the bird form. Her first ability in the rock form will be Gathering Clouds, an 8-second channel which deals high ticking damage and pushes players back every 1 second. There are rock edges in the room to keep your back against to combat this ability. However, still stay away from the egg sacs or edges of the platform where you can be pushed off. Healers will need to coordinate big cooldowns during this ability. So like any kind of pushback a boss does, there will be some edges that you can put your back to help you. But again, if you're going to do that, watch out for the eggs. After Gathering Clouds, she will fly up and start moving to another platform, Dark Storm. While in the air, she will do ticking damage to the entire raid. When moving to the different platforms, avoid the purple tornadoes. The tornadoes will toss the player in the air and increase the ticking damage. She will also leave feathers behind, again, like I said. After she lands on a platform and Dark Storm ends, she will get a buff that increases the damage of the next Dark Storm. So the longer she lives and keeps moving to platforms, the more damage players will take in between. She will place a debuff called Twisting Shadows on 2 players, which cause them to spawn purple tornadoes at the end of the debuff's durations. These tornadoes will pick up players and deal damage and then throw them to a random direction. The debuff players need to run out of the group and away to the edge of the room. Make sure to run back to the group to avoid the tornado that they just dropped. So watch your timer on that debuff so that you're going to move out right before the tornado lands. Otherwise, it's going to land right on top of you. She will face a random player and cast Razor Wing. At the end of the cast, all players in front of her will take high damage and be knocked back. Everyone needs to move out from in front of her or risk taking damage and getting knocked into the egg sacs or off the platform. Does everybody understand? Do they know the basic? Okay. Tanks, do you guys understand what you're doing?
Yeah.
That didn't sound too convincing.
I've watched the video and did notes and research, so I have a pretty good idea, but...
Yeah. I watched the videos too.
Sif, do you want to do the same as heal assignments?
Yeah, and again, sorry about last go around. For some reason, my add-on decided to not cooperate. But yeah, same assignments.
Sorry, I need just 1 second.
So remember, when she's a spider, range need to group up loosely, and then when she jumps up in the air, be mindful where she's going to land. You need to get as far away from that spot as possible. Don't run into the eggs. If you happen to get a debuff on you, I think both of them you need to move out of the group. The first one, when she's in spider form, it will spread to other players. Please be mindful.
Is this the last boss or is there more?
This is the last one for that far wing.
Okay.
We'll talk about going into normal after, see how long it takes us to get this one done.
I'm pretty sure we can do this in, 5 minutes.
We will take a little bio break before we go into normal. I know people...
That would be great. Because I do have to go to the bathroom soon. Nah.
So, any other questions? Everybody pretty much understand everything?
Thaddeus, do you want to take Spiderlings or do you want to take her?
Honestly, probably her right now. I'm not sure what ads are like for warriors.
Loxel, when you guys did this in normal, when did you lust? Because I didn't write that down.
If I remember correctly, I think it was when she landed on the other platform.
Okay.
Okay, it looks like when Paul's back, let me know when you're ready and I'll let you pull her and I'll pick up the spiders when they show up.
I'm here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I feel like an idiot. So where are we tanking her?
So you're gonna want to take her with your back to the rock.
Okay.
Yeah. The one yeah. Okay, so let me know when you're ready and I'll hit the pull check, or pull timer.
Okay, all set.
Okay.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Mercy? None for you! Only gushing blood and broken
Range, move to the left a little bit and stack up. Kind of get a little bit further away from. Oh, move out of this as far away as you can, and then back in. There's a spider back here.
Yep, picking her up.
Looks like some spiderlings. Someone got into some eggs.
Wow, there is stuff everywhere.
When you get that green circle around you, it drops 4 times, so make sure you move, like, in a different spot.
Run.
Range, make sure to be killing the spiders over boss and pull them away from the boss. Because
I'm doing my best.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Do not run in the eggs, please.
The purple swirl tornadoes will clear the green.
Alright, she's moving to another platform. Watch out for the tornadoes and the stuff on the ground.
There's a whole bunch of feathers back here.
Need to get her back over on the platform.
Dead.
Alright, so if you saw that you were dropping green puddles, try not to block our pathways for the platforms. I'd say go up to the edges, in between the platforms and on towards the wall that's not covered in eggs. After when she turns into the bird form, she's going to sit there and flap her wings for a little bit, but then she will go up into the air like we saw. Tanks and healers need to grab those feathers so they can get across to reach her to the platform before she comes running towards us on the webs.
If possible, please tank her closer to the one that we're going to have to go across. That way, when she drops the feathers, they're closer to the ramp. Yep. So I'll try to position the spiderlings as much as possible.
So should I be tanking her on this side then, or?
I guess it depends.
I think it's random which one she goes to, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it is.
No, she always goes to that one.
Oh, she always goes to that one first?
Yeah, she'll always go to that. She basically goes around, I want to say counterclock, whatever, but she'll go to the one behind us first, then to the next one, then back to this one. And at least that's what she did with us in normal.
Yeah, she only really get to the third one on heroic, but she'll always go to that one right after this.
Alright, so try to tank her over here then. So she's gonna be tanked on Skull. Range, please stay like around green so you can get far enough away from the group to drop the puddles instead of being right in melee. And try not to block the pathways with the green stuff.
I'm ready when everyone else is.
Okay, hitting pull timer.
If I could say, try not to get that green puddle by the entrance to the other platform.
2, 1.
This time I'm ready for your treachery.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, that almost ended very badly.
Remember, range, please kill the spiders before the boss. Get out of the big green circle.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my gosh.
Purple swirls can clean up the green, but move it to the far edge.
The purple cloud debuff that gets put on, you can remove the poison clouds with it before it disappears off you.
Alright.
Alright, she's moving.
Just be careful of the eggs.
If you have the wings, you can actually jump in the air to go faster and over. Just don't jump off.
The wings also give you a buff that if eggs do get hatched, you can dive onto the spiders and kill them instantly.
If you have a purple swirl, move out.
Hurry, little rats!
Go ahead and hero.
Hurry, little rats! Hurry, little rats!
4, 3, 2, 1.
Not afraid of spiders, are you? Fatality!
4, 3, 2, 1.
spiderlings are up.
Yay!
Good job, guys.
Too easy.
It really is intimidating until you actually try it. Watching the videos, I was scared. I'm like, oh no.
Oh, this is hella far. We'll see what happens when it gets normal.
Ooh.
Well, I messed up on the first one. I got caught in a tornado while making my way across. As a tank, that is no bueno.